Coming to you from the best backyard in Honokaa, live and unprepared, we are pastors and pagans. Today, I wanted to skip the opening rant and just get right into a discussion about people that like text messages. And then later, I thought we could talk about dreams and dream reading, uh, dream interpreting. But opening, just people that like text messages. What do you think that is? That just you want to send back the exact same text message someone just sent you, but with a liked notification in front of it. What do you think that says about a person's personality?
Are you talking about me?
I think he's talking about you,
general.
Chase.
I think so. I think it's directed at me.
Just people in general. Just what do you think that's about? Chase, why do you do this? What do you think this accomplishes?
I think it's a form of communication that has evolved over time that shortens the normal procedure that a human would take to communicate what he's trying to communicate.
By liking, because you need them to know that you liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, that message that you just said, I think you would need to know that I think it was great. I liked it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, because we can't see each other, like in the Western days where they said like howdy. Sometimes they didn't even say howdy. They skipped it to just
normally I'll just
hat.
like send a text message back like cool, like okay, I'll see you in 10.
Yeah, cool. And it's like a tip of the hat, like there's so much said with just going like this. Like how did that evolve? Like
I'm sure there's a GIF of Matthew McConaughey doing just that you could have sent back.
Yeah, just maybe
instead
I could,
of
but
liking and sending the same message. I think it's actually an iPhone to Android thing. When people on iPhones like something, it sends back the same message and it just says liked.
Oh, it's also a way of us like telling
it's not just you. I think it's funny when people
iPhone
do it.
And you don't.
Yeah, because you're a sheep, because
okay.
you're a follower. Oh, do we want to talk about Ken Ham's Christian Disneyland?
Hey, wait a second here. I didn't get a chance to put in my 2 cents about liking messages.
Go for it, Jack.
Good grief. Jumping right over the top of it. So I agree with Chase that it's a way of acknowledging, hey, I've seen your text.
I see you, Tim.
I see you. You're important to me. And I give your opinion validation, all of that. But I'd say in general, it's pretty lazy. Because it's like, it's lazier than sending an emoji. Like you didn't even take the time to like go to the emoji screen and pick an emoji. You just went and bang, like.
Yeah, it's just the thumb motion. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're worth to me, Tim. Our friendship is a drop of a thumb.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that.
Okay, now we can go on to the next topic.
Ken Ham's Christian Disneyland.
Oh, Christian Disneyland.
The arc that you went to.
Yes. So, if you guys are ever up in Kentucky, there's nothing else to do up in Kentucky than to go see a gigantic arc. And it's amazing. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. We were just driving through
the
Kentucky.
Dinosaurs in the cages?
I did. There was some cool dinosaurs.
Did they have the smoke monsters from the movie?
No unicorns, griffins, or dragons, because they didn't make it on the ship, obviously.
But they did have dinosaurs? There were dinosaurs? Like Jurassic Park style dinosaurs?
Yep. Eggs, though. Babies, though. Come on, guys. We're not talking breeding the whole when they're full grown. Babies. No, it was really
go ahead.
Cool. It was really cool. We were just driving through Kentucky, and there was like Lincoln's birthplace. That was cool. It was a cabin. And then we're driving, and then all of a sudden, popping up above the trees is this massive wooden ark. And I was like, is that what I think it is? And then my family members were like, yeah, that's the ark. I was like, can we go to it? Cost $50 to go in.
A person.
Shuttled up. Yes, just adults. Kids are free. And you go through the whole thing, and it's really cool. I liked it a lot. I thought it was
Funnels you right to
really
the gift shop.
I did. They had like cool little elephants for sale, dolls. There was a petting zoo with kangaroos jumping in the snow. It was and packed too. Like people from all over the world. There was so many different languages like passing through, like all over the place. That yeah. And this is like a slow season. Apparently they can fit up to 9,000 people in that arc if they jammed it. Because I talked to the workers. Pretty cool. Yeah, I liked
all
it.
the cages.
I'm gonna give it a
The
total
cage
big
for each language.
dude. It was cool. I like it. They make a strong, compelling argument. It's very very.
After
compelling.
you sent me that picture, YouTube started showing me videos of people making fun of it. So I've just watched like 4 or 5 people making fun of it.
I'm sure. Yeah, people rail on it. I kind of get that when I walk around. I was like, I can get why people will like make fun of it, but it is a very good argument. You should go. You definitely should.
Back to the dinosaurs, though, Jack. We know that's fake, right? Because God put those in the ground to test us.
No, dinosaurs are real. Yeah, that's. I think that the idea that God put those bones in the ground to test us, that's a homeschool thing. So that's going back to your history.
You told me that like 10 years ago.
No.
Jack.
That wasn't me at all. I've always believed in dinosaurs. You were the one that said that the aliens put them there to test us.
No, the aliens made mammals out of them, and then they made us out of the best of those mammals.
Right. So no, dinosaurs are real.
The same story, same as your story, dude. Okay.
Wait. Before we move on from the dinosaurs, I just wanted to say that I recently learned that, you know, when people were discovering dinosaur bones, I didn't know there was a whole era of like, they call it like the Bones Wars, where people were like borderline killing each other, because the bones, like they discovered it and became like the gold rush, but for bones. And people started making up dinosaurs because they wanted to like make the scientific discoveries. And I didn't know this. This was like a real thing happening where people were like making up fake bones and stealing bones. It's like a whole ordeal. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that was like a whole thing that went down. And I started to think about that because when we went to Mammoth Cave, when we were also after the arc, we went to go check out the cave. The guy started talking about the Bone Wars, and then he said there were the Cave Wars when they started realizing they could market the caves over here in Kentucky. There were people selling like tourist attractions to go check out these awesome caves, and they started burning down each other's attractions, and like murder was involved and all kinds of things. So, anyways, that made me think of the dinosaur bones. I was like, people are crazy. But
people are crazy. Yeah. There's actually several cases of like that came out that these discoveries of supposedly human bone fragments were all false. One of them was a real significant find called Java Man, and it was this part of a jawbone and a kneecap. And they said, well, it's obviously the jawbone is structured like a chimpanzee's and the knee bone is structured like a human. Well, it turns out that they were found miles apart. The knee bone was found in a cave down in inside of a river valley, and the jawbone was up on top of a plateau miles and miles away. And so he put them together and went, oh yeah, this is the same animal. So yeah, there's a lot of those.
It's kind of funny because I don't know why I never questioned that would happen. Like, oh, people just like very like honestly found bones, and then like the scientific like community came together and it was like a smooth thing. But like that doesn't happen.
Paleontologists, some sketchy motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say that doesn't happen with any other thing. So why would it be the same with like the bones? Like people were lying, cheating, stealing, and all kinds of stuff. Like it made me like think
behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny how that they come out with all these great theories and ideas still, and when people go, "What's the proof of that?" And they're like, "Hey, man, I'm a scientist," and everyone's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Hey, man, it's in a book. Okay, dreams.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
So dreams all over the world. I mean, all cultures have had some type of dream reading, dream interpretations, down to Jung with being archetypes of your own mind. uh, things that you hold dear, things that you think about, just deep-seated things in your life and your subconscious. Jack, did you want to talk anything on biblical dream reading, dream interpretation?
Um, Dreams are something that the Lord can use, but not always. So not every dream means a thing, but that there are those that he brings about or gives to a person, and then will explain what those dreams mean. So yeah, it's definitely something the Lord still uses. We see it throughout the scriptures where dreams, significant messages came through dreams. But again, that doesn't mean that every dream a person has is somehow prophetic.
Okay, well, I was gonna ask you to interpret a dream I had. This was this was the dream that I had the other night. It was last week, but you weren't at work, so we couldn't talk about it.
And we are keeping in mind this is a family show, right? So I don't know what's in this dream. I'm just making sure.
Okay.
That,
yeah. So I was in like a really modern park, like the setting, like there were concrete walkways and sidewalks. The grass was mowed. There were trees in the distance. It kind of reminded me of like the park in Fringe when the observers attack. Just like the really nice modern park, kind of like of anywhere I've actually been, like the Washington Monument looking towards the Lincoln, kind of over the reflecting pool. But there weren't that many people or any monuments. It was just like an open park. And there were people kind of milling about. And I was like walking in the park all by myself, and I had a kind of funny like feeling in my pants, like something was tearing, like and I reached down and I pulled out the unit nut and bolts, like the sausage and accoutrements, like the pool stick and balls, and I was freaking out. It was like a scab came off, and I looked down, and I thought I would be bleeding out. I was checking my pants for blood. I looked down, and there was like a little baby Groot of a dick growing back, and it comforted me. I wasn't. I tried the whole time, but when you laughed, I couldn't help it. What does this mean?
Oh, gosh. Dude, you got issues. That's what that means. Holy cow.
But Jack, this is what could this mean? This was obviously, it was a memorable dream. I don't remember all my dreams. What does it mean? Because it was growing back like a gecko tail,
Did it
I think that might be more like a Freud type of interpretation, which I'm not qualified to attempt. So, but maybe you should do some YouTube searching on that.
Oh, no, yeah. No, let's not interpret that dream. I think that will be left up to your interpretation. It is what you think it is, Tim. What do you think it means, Tim?
I don't know if I want to know what Tim thinks it is. I think...
Well, was there some metaphor about literally jerking it off? I don't know. Everybody's gone. He froze. All right. Well, those were the only bits I had prepared in the last 2 weeks.
Have you guys ever had reoccurring dreams?
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about before that. I have. Have you? What have yours been about?
I've had a reoccurring dream 3 times, and it was freaky. It was a scary dream. But we used to live at the bottom of Buster Brown in Waimea, like a little log cabin. And I woke up in the morning, and the scene of like Mulan, the cartoon, not the movie, when the Huns come over the hill and they're like riding with their horses down. Similar thing where I look up above Waimea and there's like these white-looking horse things coming down, and they were like descending upon like the town of Waimea. But then as they got closer, they found like they started to realize that they weren't exactly horses. They were like the horse body, but like paws like a dog and a mouth like a dog with teeth and red eyes. And I was terrified and I couldn't run away from them. And they came and attacked the whole town.
Were they screaming Abaddon at you?
No.
And you've had this multiple times through your life?
3 times, but all within the span of like probably 6 months when I was a younger kid, like 11 years old. It's a terrifying dream.
Was it right after you watched Mulan?
Yes. No, it wasn't. That's the only reason I've had.
It does. You haven't had it since then, though.
No. Nope,
have you had any recurring dreams, Jack?
I have. Not exactly like detail for detail, but the same basic dream. And I've lost count of how many times I've had this dream. So here's how the dream goes. It's Sunday in church. I'm teaching the Bible study and I'm super into it. I'm super stoked and I'm reading this scripture and I look up and everybody's sound asleep. Yeah. And occasionally the dream
That's
is
not
that
a dream,
I'm excited. Not everybody's asleep. I mean, but in the dream they are. And like I'll snap my Bible closed and it startles everyone awake. Oh, yeah. So I've had that dream reoccurs fairly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I also think the difference in the dreams here are very unique. I mean, like I'm dreaming about some scary horses. Jax is like something very important, and Tim is something
that's a one-time dream, Chase. I have had recurring dreams actually my whole life of waves. I'm usually on a cliff or like on a sand dune, like looking over the beach, and the waves always keep getting bigger until they're like up above and they're like coming down and everyone's running, and that's always about the end of the dream.
You have that? Do you know that
my whole wave life.
Dream? Do you know that the wave dream in particular is something like a phenomenon that a ton of people dream that dream?
J.R.R. Tolkien had wave dreams his whole life. He thought it was genetic memory from Atlantis.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Like terror passed down through genes.
No, the only reason I know this is because I have a family member that got really into the dreams things and what it meant, and it really kind of scared him because he had also the wave dream, but then he got way into it. But it is a real thing where a lot of people dream that particular dream of like a wave coming over. But I think it freaked him out a little bit more than it should have had. But I thought that was interesting that a lot of people dream the same dreams. Like the statistic is like a huge percentage of people dream the same thing.
What does the wave dream mean?
Well, the Jungian explanation is that water in our dreams represents our underlying emotions, what we bottle up and try to ignore, and that when you're in any water in your dreams and anybody's dreams represents your emotions. So if it's calm and peaceful and you like it, it's because you're at peace with yourself. Usually when it's like coming over you, when you're freaking out, like it panicking from it, it's because you have like fear and anxieties that you're hiding from inside, according to the online.
Okay. There's a couple categories of dreams that I guess are fairly common. One of them, and I've never had a dream like this, but that all your teeth fall out. Have you guys ever had that dream?
Yeah, Megan has. Megan has, and that's a very common dream too. Yeah, this is a real thing.
I dream I'm in the passenger seat of a car, like alone in the passenger seat of a car all the time.
Is the car moving?
Oh yeah, like on a freeway. Like I wake up in the passenger seat and like, oh shit, all the time.
Oh no.
Not recently, but that's another recurring dream I've had.
Ooh, I think
also just trying to get to work, being late for work, and getting to work late all the time.
Have Have you ever had the urge to sing the lyrics "Jesus Take the Wheel"? Because I feel like that song might have been written for you. If you're having this dream.
I was thinking maybe like the rapture taking place while Tim was napping it out in the passenger seat, and he wakes up and he's in the passenger seat alone.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting dream. I've never had something like that where I'm sitting alone. I don't dream of water though. When I started thinking about bottled up emotions, like I dream about actually a lot of deserts and dying that way. Not a lot of water.
That's very interesting. I dream about water all the time, like streams, ponds, bays. Like there's always water in my dreams.
You know, I don't.
Do you ever wake up? Do you ever wake up all wet?
Sometimes, but it's unrelated.
Oh, the other night I woke up all wet, but it was from my child that snuck into bed with me, and he might have dreamt of water. And dude, it's bad when you're so tired that you're kind of like, is it worth it to get a towel, or is pee just pee? At the end of the day, is it something?
I've been there with dogs. Just throw a towel on it and get back in bed.
It's kind of more warm actually than it was before. But yeah, dreams are interesting. Subconscious stuff.
How about flying dreams? I've had many flying dreams.
I definitely fall more than I fly in the dreams. A lot more falling.
When I was a kid, I could realize I was in the dream and fly, and I haven't been able to do that since high school.
Yeah, there are certain things that will trigger for me that this is a dream, right? So falling is one, flying is one, fighting, because everything moves slower in a dream. If you try and read something in a dream, you can't. That's another one that'll trigger it when I'm like, oh, this is a dream. I can't read those things.
Huh. I've tried to fight in dreams before, and I always wake up tangled up in the sheets because I can't punch him. I'm trying to hit him, and I'm all held up.
Oh, you're awake.
What was your most terrifying dream, the most scariest dream you've ever had? Like I'm talking, you wake up in a cold sweat. That kind of dream. I had a dream that I went blind and I couldn't see. And then this was what made the dream scary. I guess I've had, this is it met reality on a couch in the living room full of people. And when I woke up, I was actually dreaming that I was going. But then when I woke up, I could hear but I still couldn't see. And it freaked the mess out of me. But apparently there was a blackout all over Waimea exactly the same time. But I thought, somebody helped one of my siblings and they didn't respond. And then I went down the hallway and I'm running into things. And they had all been used to it already. They had talked and people were looking for lighters and things to start lighting up things. But I went off down the hallway thinking that I went blind from waking up from a dream.
Was there enough gas in the generator?
Not cool, man.
How would you check that if there was without power?
Not how anyone would check it. How would you check it, Chase?
If I was caught in a situation and I wanted to see if there was a reflection of some kind of liquid, I would hold a lighter feet away, many feet away from the actual gas and probably blow myself up. But
like last time.
Thank goodness that never happened, ever.
What's the scariest dream you've ever had, Tim?
I've never, I don't know, except for the wave dreams, and those haven't ever been too terrifying. It's always like, oh, here we go. I don't know, it's never
He's like this, like, I'm waiting for it. You're ready, aren't you?
You know, I was up until Tegan. Like, I wasn't scared of shit. Like, I looked forward to death. Like, it's another step. Like, I just thought it was a new adventure. And since Tegan is, that, yeah, is terrifying. Like, one of us is going to die first and the other one has to deal with it. And I think about that every time I look at her.
Aw, that's called being a father, son. Good job.
Yeah, that's what the other Chase said too.
Oh man. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about dreams about, but
I don't know.
Well, I'm talking about my scary dreams. Once again, you guys talked about your stuff.
I thought he had asked you about them initially.
What's your scary dream,
Go
Jack?
for it, Jack.
Well, I've had lots of dreams that are like, I don't know, monsters or whatever. Some of my favorites have been like straight out of the Aliens movies where the aliens are chasing me. But actually, those aren't scary. They end up being like a really great action film. So, but the scariest ones are where I've done some horrible thing. And as a result, I've lost my family, I've lost my friends, and I can't take back what I've done. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that was a dream.
Ooh.
You ever wonder if those were parallel timelines where you did something terrible and then killed yourself and you woke up and quantum immortality?
Wow.
No, I've never wondered that. I just thought they were bad dreams.
That's what I think about dreams. They're the different timelines.
Have you ever woken up and been affected by a dream? Like somebody wronged you in your dream and then you woke up and actually were mad at a person or something like that?
I have not being able to punch people. Like, oh, I was just about to. Like, it was righteous. I could have done it.
I did that. This one was specific. It was something to do with like orange juice or not getting like the last bowl of cereal. And the whole thing in the dream was made up. We had no bowls of cereal because we didn't go to Costco. It had been like a couple weeks or something since we'd taken our normal trip. But I woke up and I was convinced because of the dream. And I was mad at every single one of my siblings. Like there was a bitterness that I couldn't shake like all day, even though I knew it was a dream. That was weird. That was weird how it crosses over like that. It's irrational.
Especially when it's about cereal. That seems like there's a cereal issue there.
I've met women that get mad about dreams and hold grudges about dreams.
You know what? When you're in a big family of 8 people, seldom do you get to have a bowl of Fruit Loops. It's a joy and a pleasure. And when that's taken from you, it's a big deal. I'm just saying.
Seems like it still has bothered you a little bit just to even talk about it right now.
You know, my pantry is loaded with Fruit Loops right now. You can't take that away from me, Dad. No.
No, boys, don't go near your father. He's eating right now. He's eating his cereal. You know how he gets.
I do eat really fast. So still to this day, I eat extremely fast.
Well, anything else on dreams? Have you ever had a dream that you felt like was from the Lord, or was somehow prophetic, or had some greater meaning to it, besides Tim's dream in the park?
Yeah, the Groot dream. We're just gonna call it the Groot, baby Groot. I can't think of anyone. Probably, I mean, like, I've had spooky dreams. I don't know. What about you guys?
Tim?
I have had dreams that feel somehow important, like that to this day I can recall more, like, better than memories. Like the images are more vivid and clear, and the feeling of being there was more real than some memories that I have. But I've never had one that felt like it was anything about the future or prophetic, except the wave dream.
You think the waves are coming to get you?
I assume I'll drown. I don't know.
You're not gonna drown. You're not gonna drown.
Yeah, I float pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, you do. No.
I have one that actually I've had a couple different dreams that I think were from the Lord. Sometimes it's just showing me stuff about my character, it's things that are, maybe I'm spending too much time thinking about something, or it's I've let something get too important where it shouldn't be. But there was one in particular that I had about Candy, my wife. And then in this dream, she was in this big dark space. It wasn't like a room. It was almost like this void. And this fire came down from above and surrounded it. And so it was so thick, I couldn't see her anymore. But I could hear her screaming inside the fire. And so I kept trying to reach in and get her or block the fire with my body, somehow keep her safe. And no matter what I did, it just kept going around me and getting back to her. And so finally I was like exhausted. I couldn't do anything to help other than I just had to watch. But the longer she was in the fire, the more beautiful she became. And I woke up and I felt like the Lord just said, this is important. You need to remember this. And I went, okay. And it felt like it was prophetic, that there was something that was going to happen that I would be powerless to do anything against. And sure enough, for the next, it was a year or two, Candy went through some very, very difficult times. Insomnia, she had some intense panic attacks, and there wasn't anything I could do. But the Lord took her through this whole process, and on the other side is more amazing than ever. But yeah, I think that dream was to kind of prepare me, to let me know that there wasn't going to be much I could do other than just love her through the whole thing.
That's cool. That's really cool.
That's neat.
I like that. Just think about that. Like, dreams used to mean something, I think, in the ancient world. Like, I feel like people had time to think about, because it is obviously connected to your subconscious. But I think like people kind of like lost that. I actually have been told that like people that read a lot, because you're using your brain a lot more than just watching stuff it stimulates your brain. Like you tend to dream more when you're in books, like because you're kind of working that muscle. And so I actually haven't had dreams in a while, but that I just started thinking about it. Like that is really cool. I do think God has used dreams, but maybe not in a very powerful way. If he has, it's been more of a wake-up call. They've been more scary dreams. I don't think I've had a dream that was like ended up me feeling good. It was like more you need to remember that it's not just flesh and blood in the world. Like I had a dream about like confronting a demon once, and that was terrifying, and that was scary. But it wasn't anything. It was like I knew that he couldn't harm me, and like it was no fear in that way. But it was more of just a reminder that there's more, and it was very simple. Like I haven't had any dreams that like really affected my life hugely, but like dreams like that was more of just like kind of got to peer through and saw something that was beyond outside, like, yeah, it was a very interesting dream because I woke up and we used to have this ohana where we would open up, there's a screen and there's a porch. And obviously I walked out, and it's like when I walked out of this ohana area and opened up the screen wraparound deck, it was like this demon creature had been walking by, and he turned and saw that I had like walked out of the house. Like he didn't notice me. Like he was there even before when I saw him through the door. But then when I walked out, he like turned and like was like, "Oh, you're outside now." And I just remember like that was it. Like there wasn't much. He just made eye contact with me, and I remember waking up and being like, "Whoa!" I was like really terrified of that. But like, I just remember thinking if it was from the Lord, I just remember it was more of just like, I remember thinking, I believe it was like, it is good and important to remember that scripture says that we don't battle with just flesh and blood. Like things that we think are just normal day-to-day things hitting us, there's usually an underline of something else.
Spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know what I wondered about is that if dreams have changed over the generations, because like in the Bible, when somebody brings up a dream, they treat it like it's a rare occurrence. And maybe it's just the same thing. They had a special dream and they went, this is from the Lord, so they wrote it down. But it seems like maybe they didn't happen that often or with that much clarity. I'm not sure. And I remember as a kid talking to my parents and parents of my friends, and they all talked about how their dreams were in black and white and that they didn't even like think the dreams were in color. I'm like, oh no, all my dreams are in color. And they're like, no, they're not. All dreams are in black and white. And so I wonder, maybe I just knew boring people and they couldn't
Before
imagine
TV,
color. Or maybe
before color TV, there was black and white dreams.
I don't know, but it seems weird because certainly before TV, people had dreams and whatever they saw, if you think it coming through in color. So I don't think it was TV, but yeah, I just wondered if over the years, maybe dreams have changed or become more prevalent, more detailed. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
I think the wireless frequencies, radio signals to your telephone, microwaves are all setting off signals in our head while we sleep. That's why we dream.
Wake up in bed, start ordering stuff on Amazon. Oh.
Well, it would just hit us as zeros and ones. We're not going to interpret it without some kind of implant to communicate.
Not yet, dude. They already have us. We're all just a part of it now. No, that is interesting. I wonder, people probably didn't have enough time to like dream. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we get better rest than they did because they're like exhausted. Like, you think so?
I think they got better rest. They also weren't staring at screens and lighted objects. They didn't have lights after the sun went down. They were pretty much.
Yeah, I'm thinking the farmer that's been plowing his field all day and doing all the chores, and when he goes in and eats dinner and falls asleep, that guy sleeps pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. That is interesting, though. Dreams.
That's something I think about with LED flashlights, that not having lights. You know, an LED flashlight right now at 1200 lumen, bright as daylight, that would be magic to someone 300 years ago. After dark, they were done. They were stuck inside, or a cougar might eat them. Like, can you imagine what a flashlight would have been to someone?
Oh, dude.
Time is up, unless you guys want to start again. But
nope, that's good.
I didn't have too much prepared. All right, good to talk to you guys.
Good talking to you. That was a great topic.
It was. Good job, guys.
Till next week, pastors and pagans. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Mom and April.
And Ryan. Ryan said that he's watching too.
Ryan. Oh, and sorry, Mom. Bye.